Hello, my name is Darren Timson from The Counter Sport, and today we're going to look at why Liverpool shouldn't be worried about losing Trent Alexander-Arnold. On Monday, Trent announced the news that many fans were potentially hoping he wasn't going to announce. He said that he will be leaving the club at the end of his contract, with it pretty likely he's going to go to Real Madrid. And if you watched my previous video, which looked at the key positions Liverpool needed to strengthen in the summer, please click the link on the screen here. And in that video, I briefly looked at why Liverpool must buy a replacement for Trent, because I don't think Conor Bradley is ready yet to take on that mantle, and also because he is pretty injured regularly. However, in today's video, I'm going to look at how Liverpool can navigate the loss of Trent by improving in a number of areas. So, the key strengths of Trent are ball progression, crossing, and creativity. Liverpool can replicate all of that essentially in the aggregate, but firstly they'll need full-back balance. Now, Liverpool have been linked with a number of players already, namely Milos Kerkez and Jeremy Frimpong, but miracles would need to be performed for Ibrahima Konate and Virgil van Dijk to not completely break apart, and that defence to concede less than 50 goals in a season, unless there was a change of system. Under Jurgen Klopp's peak time at Liverpool, Andy Robertson and Trent used to bomb up and down the touchline, but the only reason that worked was because of Fabinho and Gini Wijnaldum dropping deep and basically creating a 4-6 split. Arne Slot doesn't seem to want his defensive midfielder to just be a destroyer, as he wants a ball player that can also defend, and because Alexis McAllister is far too good to be used like Gini Wijnaldum used to be, he needs to be further up the pitch. This means Liverpool will need a bit more balance from their fullbacks going forward. This could come in the form of two fullbacks that are similar going forward and back, and then alternating who stays back depending on the state of the game. Alternatively, Liverpool could go down the route Slot used at Feyenoord, where he used one to essentially form part of a back three, while the other pushed forward. I think the Dutchman will look to do something similar in Merseyside, and we've seen it at times this season with Robertson and Kostas Tsimikas playing more reserved at times than they used to, while Trent or Bradley went forward. It's entirely possible Slot will go down the same route, with the right back more defensive and the left back attacking, maybe just due to the nature of the market right now. I think there's more quality attacking left backs that are also more attainable than there are on the other side. The options there could be Milos Kerkez, Reina Yuri, and Alvaro Carreras. I went through those three in my previous video, and I think they're the most realistic options. Yuri is perhaps the best going forward and does need to maybe focus more when defending. We have seen him lock Mohamed Salah down, so we know he has it in him. Kerkez, a huge talent, but does have a big fee of over £40 million, and again has some defensive shortcomings. And again, similar with Carreras, really good going forward. But the key for him is he actually has a £30 million release clause, and would also actually count as homegrown, which could potentially interest Liverpool. But the big thing with all three is that they have really good crossing abilities, and are really good at progressing the ball up the pitch. Not in the same way as Trent, obviously, but they're really good at carrying the ball, which would be a first step in replacing Trent's ball progression. The other half of that will come from the six. As I said in my previous video, Liverpool must buy a six this summer, and that player needs to be both good defensively and effective on the ball. This is why I mentioned someone like Adam Wharton, and I don't imagine he'd be cheap, because unless Real Madrid are looking to get rid of Aurelien Tchouameni or Eduardo Camavinga, which is potentially possible as reports suggest they want Zubimendi, but for now, let's call it unlikely. Wharton for me passes both the eye test and is backed up by the data, as he ranks extremely high in progressive numbers compared to Ryan Gravenberch, and defensively he ranks pretty good too. But defensive numbers rarely do defensive actions justice and don't really tell the whole story. But recent games against Aston Villa in the FA Cup semi-final and Brighton in the league showcased what he is capable of. Now, the reason why this is such an important aspect for Liverpool is because the build-out at times isn't great, and it's especially evident when Trent wasn't available. And I want to make it clear, this isn't a slate on Ryan Gravenberch. He's a good player, but he'd quite clearly benefit from being further up the pitch and receiving the ball to be able to drive at defences, because controlling the game isn't really his thing, and it's fine. Liverpool can't really afford to go into next season with Gravenberch there as often as he was this season, because they will struggle massively in the build-up and will also struggle defensively. Someone like Adam Wharton would massively negate that hole left by Trent. On to right back, and I haven't forgotten about that position. The final puzzle piece key to all of this finishes with the defensive fullback, and the reason being because with an attacking left back, a ball playing first defensive midfielder, we then need to finish all of that off with defending. Again, there's options out there like someone on a slot nose in Luciano Gertruda, or younger and maybe better options in Arno Martinez, or even younger in Martin Fernandez, who's capable in both directions and a very talented prospect. Again, this player will need to be good on the ball, which all are, but would need better defensive instincts than we've seen in previous seasons. This will then create something similar to the Klopp team, which had a 4-6 split, but this time with one fullback staying back more often than the two midfielders. However, that fullback would also probably need to get forward at times as well. Therefore, Liverpool might just be able to be as good, if not better, getting the ball up the pitch, and then they would be significantly better defensively. And up the pitch is where the ultimate final puzzle piece lays: creativity. This, I suppose, could come in one or two places. Upgrades in the striker department are almost sure to happen this summer, but creative strikers could be someone like Julian Alvarez or João Pedro. However, I think you'd still want an upgrade at left wing regardless. Personally, I think it does need to come at that side, because I think Luis Diaz's days could be numbered due to his own design, or the club's, or both. Reports suggest his camp are vying for a new deal, with some Liverpool journalists then suggesting the club may not be as keen. Before I get into that though, I do want to quickly add that Dominic Szoboszlai will be an interesting case next season, because I don't think it's unreasonable to think he does need to up his numbers a little bit. I'm not sure he's quite shown enough in his 2 years to replicate what he did at Leipzig. However, I also think he's severely underrated due to his off-ball work. He genuinely saves Liverpool at times from being cut through on their press, and also is really important to helping Trent and Gravenberch not be as exposed defensively. But if Liverpool sort out what's behind him, he'll have no excuse not to show what he's capable of next year. But anyway, back to left wing. A big part of replacing Trent's creativity will come from this area, and for me, Luis Diaz and Cody Gakpo don't often show enough there to really create for others, and both rank pretty badly for assists and expected assists given how many games they've played. If you want to go back and look at the players I mentioned for Liverpool at left wing, go and watch that video, but whoever comes, if they do come, will need to be elite in that department. And if Liverpool manage to get all of that done, added by the strengthening of the striker position, the effects of Trent won't be missed as much as you might think, and the team could be much stronger this season than they were last season. That's it for now. If you made it to the end and enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe and comment down below. We really appreciate any and all support. If you want to see more videos like this, or have any videos you would like to see, then please, again, comment down below. But for now, thank you for watching and goodbye.